hard with the mask. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Chaplain McIntosh will now give our invocation.
Let us pause for a brief word of prayer. Holy and loving God, we thank you for this opportunity we have to bear witness to this historical event in the life and legacy of the 92nd Cyber Operations Squadron, as a mantle of leadership is passed from Lieutenant Colonel Dorsey Wilkin to Lieutenant Colonel Brian Dela Cruz. Lord, we thank you for the outstanding leadership and contributions made by Colonel Wilkin over these past 2 years. We ask your blessings upon him and his family as they turn their attention to the next place of duty. And now, we welcome Lieutenant Colonel Dela Cruz and his family as he steps forward to embrace the guidon and with it, the mantle of leadership as the next 92nd COS commander. Lord, we know that to whom much is given, much then is required. Therefore, we ask your wisdom and guidance upon Colonel Dela Cruz as he seeks to exceed the lofty expectations set before him and take this distinguished squadron to even greater heights of success. And may we, who serve alongside him, support him and his leadership team as they faithfully lead our cyber warriors. For these things we all ask in your most holy and precious name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain McIntosh. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. At this time, we would like to recognize several distinguished guests. Please hold your applause until the introductions are complete. We are pleased to welcome the Vice Commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Colonel Omar Velasco, the spouse of the outgoing commander, Mrs. Angela Wilkin, the spouse of the incoming commander, Mrs. Diane Dela Cruz, and children, Bryson and Ariana, along with special guest, Morgan Johnson. To the other senior leaders, members of the 67th Cyberspace Wing staff, 567th Cyberspace Operations Group staff, distinguished guests, skulls, friends, and the Wilkin and Dela Cruz families, thank you for taking the time to share this special occasion with us today. Welcome, one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 567th Cyberspace Operations Group, Colonel Lamont Atkins.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It's indeed a great honor and privilege to join you here virtually to initiate the change of command of the 92nd Cyber Operations Group. This ceremony gives us an opportunity to recognize the great work of Lieutenant Colonel Dorsey Wilkin and the men and women of the Skulls. I'd like to specifically recognize the great leadership team that supported Dorsey. To Candace, Lindsay, and Jennifer, I appreciate everything that you have done to make Dorsey and the Skulls successful. And I know none of this success could have been possible without you. I also want to say thanks to everyone that helped pull this event together. I know it was a huge effort to make an event like this happen in a strained environment. I would also like to thank the distinguished visitors that were able to join. Specifically, say thank you to Colonel Phillips, who's joining us virtually as he returned from a TDY. And thanks to Colonel Velasco that was able to meet here in person at JPSA. To all other commanders, chiefs, sergeants, all other gunslingers of the 6th Cyberspace Wing, thank you for taking time out of a busy day to be part of this honor event. These events are normally a bittersweet moment as you say farewell to a leader who has contributed so much to the mission and our airmen. But at the same time, we say welcome to a new commander who will ensure we continue to place airmen first and nurture that same warfighting culture that has become the bedrock of a unit like the 92nd. Well, this is a great day for 567. Not only do we get to bring Brian to the family, will be relinquishing command of the day and only transition to be a part of the leadership team at the group. I can say this is a true win-win for me, the men and women of the 92nd, and for the entire group. Before I get too far, would like to say thank you to the family members that join us today in person. For the Wilkin family, welcome Angela, who is there at JBSA, and their kids, Emily, right, Joseph, who are us virtually. For Brian's family, his wife Diane is joining us in person. In addition, I want to say the children Bryson, Benson, and Ariana. To all the family members joining us both locally and virtually, thanks for the continued support that you have provided to both Dorsey and Brian in years. There's no way either of these airmen, fathers, sons, and husbands, be here today without your support. As the Air Force entrusts them with additional leadership responsibility, your continued support will be as they start a new chapter in their life. To the airmen and civilian of the 92nd, the Skulls, your reputation of professionalism, innovation, and mission effectiveness precedes you. You model our Air Force values every day. I speak on behalf of myself and Colonel Phillips when I say we're very proud that you have accomplished and your commitment to always push the way for conducting threat-informed intel and hunt operations to deliver outcomes in support of a grateful nation. It was your ingenuity, innovation, dedication that led this unit to FOC. That was a significant moment in history but you didn't stop. You continue to write additional pages in the history book by improving your readiness and building warfighter lethality in support of the National Defense Strategy. I think the key to your success is really the culture of your organization. A culture where airmen and civilians alike are always providing leading-edge ideas, innovative concepts, and just waiting to be disrupted. Under Dorsey's leadership, this culture will just the execution of over 17 operations, 37,000 sortie hours. Over the past 2 years, you have an impressive list of first and significant accomplishments. You were the first Air Force CPT to conduct threat simulation, and you executed a phishing campaign across 2 safety bases and 47,000 users. In addition, you were audited by for the joint mission that generated 62 investigations compared to multiple arrests in international cyber. During your scheduled reconstitution time, you partnered with 2 Air Force mission defense teams to help them build their operational and support programs, allowing them to be certified in a record time. The most beautiful thing, I know that the best is yet to come for the Skulls. Dorsey, you hit the ground running, and your leadership was critical to the team gaining and maintaining that operational edge, that warfighting ethos, and that innovative culture. You aced command at a critical time for the wing, and the proved beyond a doubt that you're an improving leader that's trusted by your airmen. You maintain a culture by encouraging ideas and allowing them to time. You always advocated for each and every person in your unit. Dorsey, you have my deepest gratitude, and I look forward to continuing working together with you as you move to the new step. As one remarkable leader moves on, another stands to take the flag. We're incredibly fortunate that our airmen will still be in good hands. The Air Force definitely got it right. Brian is the person at the right time to take this unit to the next level. An OTS graduate with several years of experience has an impressive list of accomplishments and experience. Most recently, he was the 16th Air Force staff as the chief for their cyber fire station. In that position, he was a key planner that led the development of multiple CONOPS and strike packages for cyber operations and defense of the 2020 U.S. elections to prevent foreign adversaries from impacting our democracy. He also led Operation Multiple Task Force in the execution of over 300 cyber sorties, building in U.S. resiliency against adversary attacks. Prior to his time in the 16th, he had the pleasure of having Brian leading the 34th COS as the, and he even took the flag as the commander for a few months. During Brian's tenure, the Rose conducted 12 missions over 12,000 sortie hours. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Dela Cruz is a world-class leader and battle-tested warfighter. Brian, I'm confident that you and the Skulls will blaze the trail by continuing to build lethality, and I look forward to watching your continued success. The perspective that you gain is exactly what we need to produce the outcomes that the department is expecting. I look forward to your leadership as you take command today, and I can't wait to watch the amazing airmen of the 92nd as you continue to advance the future of warfighting in our enterprise. Brian, let me be the first to say welcome back to the family. Thanks to everyone again for joining us today. And then I transition the mic over to the narrator.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal to Lieutenant Colonel Wilkin. Colonel Atkins, sir, request permission to publish the order.
Publish the orders.
Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Meritorious Service Medal to Lieutenant Colonel Dorsey C. Wilkin. Lieutenant Colonel Dorsey C. Wilkin distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 92nd Cyberspace Operations Squadron, 567 Cyberspace Operations Group, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. During this period, Lieutenant Colonel Wilkin led the Air Force's premier cyber defense squadron with 3 cyber protection teams to execute a 200% increase in operations for over 37,000 sortie hours. His 130 military, civilians, and contractor unit pushed the bounds of innovation, professionalism, and readiness to tenaciously hunt and eradicate the adversary in protection of 4 geographic combatant commands and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Additionally, he executed the largest squadron reorganization in 18 years. He transitioned the unit to a new major command, wing, and group, as well as physically to a new building within the first few months of command and with 0 impact to operations. Furthermore, Lieutenant Colonel Wilkin partnered with the schoolhouse to drive a planning team for over 20,000 hours, completely overhauling the initial and mission qualification training for nearly 470 cyber warfare operators per year. Finally, he developed the first ever mission transfer project, partnering, training, and certifying 2 Air Force mission defense teams and propelling their initial operations capability from 1.5 years to less than 3 months. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Wilkin reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander, 92nd Cyberspace Operations Squadron, Skull 1 TAC 10, Lieutenant Colonel Dorsey C. Wilkin.
All right, how's that? Okay, so I know we worked with you out in San Antonio, and it's wonderful to be working with you again. I'm really glad you're in the position you're in, and I know you're going to take the gunslingers to the next level. It's awesome. To Colonel Atkins, thank you, sir. Thank you for your leadership over this past year. Most of you probably don't know, Colonel Atkins and I go back to about 2005 in Hawaii when he was Captain Atkins and I was in and it was really awesome that we were able to work together again, and I was able to work for him. I appreciate your leadership, sir, and I look forward to working with you even more as deputy with the crew. Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank the crew that made this happen. I'd like to thank Mr. Hoskins and Mr. Tier. Thank you very much. Major Uriel and Captain Hamilton. Thank you back on the mic. Thank you, sir. Lieutenant Sabato, no, he's here. Oh, he's in the back. Thank you. I know he'll be appreciating when this is over because he put a ton of work in this, and as well as Sergeant Morgan. Thank you very much for bringing this all together. Chaplain McIntosh, thank you for the invitation. It was very, very, very good. Friends, skulls, family in attendance, family and friends, both all from Michigan, Ohio, and Texas, watching online. It's got its pluses, this thing that we're dealing with COVID, and that would be the fact that all of this is now on YouTube, and all of our friends across the world can watch it. So always living on this time. Wow, what an amazing 2 years this has been. Amazing 2 years. I was on this very same stage, 17 July of 2018, taking command of the Skulls. I blinked and I'm here again. Oh my goodness, I can't believe how fast it has gone. At that date, I was accepted into the Skull family, a new family. I wasn't sure how they would go. And over these past 2 years, this family has rocked it. The Skull family has rocked it. First day in the job, got my command team in, gave them my expectations, I would have an opinion about an issue or something that popped up, and I would look at my number one, and without giving anything to back up, I would, what do you think? And 9 times out of 10, we were always on the same page. And in the few times that we weren't, we were always able to come to an agreement on what the right answer was. Thank you very much. Thank you for my comments. To Dallas, has been with me the entire 2 years. Was it the first week, first month, I think, that we hired you because of the gap that we had in the civilian hiring process and all the issues that were going on with that. And he has rocked it this last couple of years. He has taken, so what's interesting is people leave the skulls. A lot of people leave the skulls. But none of them leave the skulls because they really want to. They always seem to leave because they're getting a promotion or they're getting their dream assignment. But in any case, there was quite a while when we were at a zero-sum game. And Dallas was having difficulty keeping up. We would hire someone, a couple months later, someone like, yeah, I got a promotion. Hire someone else, and it went like that for a year. And he steadily just kept adding, and finally we're now, we cut that in half, which is awesome. Thank you, Dallas. To my soups, my superintendent, Sergeant Isbell, and before her, Sergeant Ferguson, hopefully is out on the virtual land watching today. Thank you very much for your leadership. I actually want to talk to you a little bit when I get to my green team, a little more. And then, last but not least, very not least, on the command team, sure, back in the back. One of the first people I actually said hi to when I first joined the squadron, and we had a very interesting relationship. I come over this morning, I was talking to my wife, I was like, you know, I really like talking to the shirt, but for whatever reason, when the first sergeant calls, your heart skips a beat. You're like, I don't know what this is about, but I don't know, hopefully it's just good. Hopefully the church just wants to chat through things. And fortunately, 99% of the time, that's what it was just talking things. And we always had our dad jokes. We were big on the dad jokes. So I got one last dad joke for you, Shirt. Because for many of you that know, Shirt's into medical, right? Shirt was very good at keeping a pulse on the squadron. Last dad joke, Shirt. I promise. Last dad joke. Okay, on the admin side, the green team. I said we'd get back to the green team. Our CSS, led by our superintendents, completely rocked it. Across the wing, across the group, we were always green, and my green team made sure of that. Lizzie, Mags in the CSS, and now Joe, Jed for the RA, and Oscar, who was doing the security. The flight cheaters, they on top of all the things admin, evaluations, decorations. If there was something red for the 92nd, A, it wasn't our fault, and B, it was taken care of before you do it, which was awesome, and thank you. We rocked it on the administrative side, and we also rocked it on the operational side. Colonel Atkins mentioned a lot of the accolades. My decoration mentioned a lot of the accolades on the operational side. From the training flight going through, and it was always Air Force knowing this. They need to know this. So what did he do? He collaborated with the 39th, he got together, he sent an entire team down there, and they rewrote the curriculum. That was awesome. From the weapons and tactics in our maintenance flights, weapon system for the Air Force. They said, hey, this stuff's not working. Our team's like, we got it. It works. We made it work. We stayed up nights, days, weeks. Made it work. That is the skull way of getting things done. From the ops flights, I heard from my decoration how many different major combatant commands that we supported in NATO that we supported. We defended combat operations for kinetic operations downrange. We made sure that the command and control networks and the mission system networks were up and running so that we could drop kinetic bombs on the adversary. We had a massive operation where we hunted an international criminal with support of law enforcement. We developed the biggest defensive enclave that was ever built, and with multiple squadrons and the national intelligence support to find, provide information, and eventually capture an international organization, criminal organization. A bunch of hackers out in the middle of nowhere, captured off the net. And I'm just at awe every time I think about that. Now for my second family. And when I say my second family, I mean my first family. And always my first family. My wife, Angela, and my children out on the line, Emily, Raymond, and Joseph. I thank you for always being there. I really thank you for our late night conversations on the dinner table, where I kind of talked about problems and you gave me solutions. And believe it or not, even my 10-year-old came up with some better solutions than I did from time to time. Well, Daddy, why don't you do this? That's a great idea, Joseph. That's a great idea. I think I will. Thank you. Thank you for always being there, and thank you for being my rock. We had a lot of things go on even in our personal lives, from high school graduations to college. We had a house built. We went to a new school. Middle son Raymond started middle school. A lot of things going on. And I know that the command stuff kind of interfered with that, but we still did it. We still made it through. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Brian, you're coming into a wonderful legacy. When I was welcomed by open arms from probably, you're the Skull, 1 TAC 11. I was the 10th commander of the Skull. 20 years that the squadron's been around, and I had probably 6 or 7 of the previous commanders send me a note congratulating me for coming into command. There is an enormous heritage, an enormous pride of being a Skull. And our slogan is 5 Charlie. I'll tell you, one of the first speeches, actually the first speech with the entire squadron, I got up and I gave them my expectations, and I always saw 5 Charlie written down. So I gave them my spiel, gave them my expectations, showed a little bit about me, talked about my family, and then I ended it with 5C. Yeah, I got a lot of looks, and then I was like, yeah, 5C. I was like, what's the problem? Well, it's 5 Charles. Oh, okay. Don't make my mistake. Don't make my mistake. You'll do great. I know your background. I know what you did for the 834. You're going to come in, and you're going to take all the things I've done, and you're just going to make them better. And congratulations on your command. I look forward to talking to you as you blink and the next 2 years, and probably back up on the stage. So I learned from that 5C. I now said 5 Charlie probably 1,000 different times from different events. But this is the last and final time as commander of the next step. With that, 5 Charlie!
Skulls!
Thank you.
At this time, the Director of Operations, 92nd Cyberspace Operations Squadron, Major Candace J. Urrutia, will render the final salute to the outgoing commander, Lieutenant Colonel Dorsey C. Wilkin, as he prepares to relinquish command. Major Urrutia represents the men and women of the 92nd Cyberspace Operations Squadron, many of whom are watching the ceremony remotely. We will now execute the change of command portion of today's ceremony. The ceremony you are about to witness is one of the briefest yet most significant of our military customs. All authority and responsibility are vested in the hands of the commander in an unbroken chain to the Commander-in-Chief, President Trump. No unit may ever, even for a brief moment, be without a commander. So today, when Lieutenant Colonel Wilkin relinquishes command and Lieutenant Colonel Dela Cruz assumes command, all authority and responsibility for the 92nd Cyberspace Operations Squadron transfers to him immediately. This ceremony culminates a series of significant achievements under Lieutenant Colonel Wilkin's leadership, vision, and guidance, and reflects great confidence in the continuance of those achievements under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Dela Cruz. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. The official party will now execute the change of command. Colonel Atkins, sir, request permission to publish the change of command orders.
Published.
Attention to orders. Special Order Number G2008, dated 24th of July, 2020. Lieutenant Colonel Dorsey C. Wilkin is relieved of command of the 92nd Cyberspace Operations Squadron, and Lieutenant Colonel Brian J. Dela Cruz assumes command, effective the 24th of July, 2020, by order of Colonel Lamont Atkins, Commander, 567th Cyberspace Operations Group.
Sir, I assume command.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce to you for the first time the Commander, 92nd Cyberspace Operations Squadron, Skull 1 TAC 11, Lieutenant Colonel Brian J. Dela Cruz.
Can everyone hear me?
Good morning.
Morning.
First off, I want to thank God for his enduring love and goodness. Because of him, everything is possible today. Lieutenant Sabado, Master Sergeant Varga, Cornell, Trevor, Ms. Marilyn, thank you for all the hard work in putting this together, despite our current environment. To the Gateway Club, thank you for the wonderful venue. Colonel Phillips on a virtual land, thank you, sir, for being here. Colonel Velasco, sir, thank you for being here today. To everyone here and out in virtual land, thank you for your physical and virtual presence. Colonel Atkins, sir, thank you for presiding over the ceremony today. I'm truly excited to be back with the 67th and 567th family. Colonel Cunningham, she's not here, but I want to tell her thank you, for I'm humbled and blessed with her trust and confidence affording me this opportunity. Chaplain Wilson, Chaplain, sorry about that. Chaplain, thank you for the inspirational prayer. I appreciate that. It's always such a blessing and an honor to have you in a ceremony. Thank you. Dorsey, you have truly elevated skulls. The 92nd is in great shape because of your outstanding leadership. I look forward to continue working with you as you move up to the group. Good luck to you and Angela. To my mom and my dad, I'm truly grateful for everything that they have done. God couldn't have blessed me with better parents. To my wife, you make me a stellar man. You make me a better man, and it's because of your love and support I'm able to do what I love. To Bryson, Brenton, and my princess, my life is complete with the three of you, and your love always brings warmth to my heart. To the Skulls, your reputation and lineage is far-reaching. I look forward to working with each one of you. I'll leave you with two things: inspire and lead. Inspire others to want to do better and be better, and lead courageously. Never shy away from those difficult challenges. We'll work through them together because the nation depends on us. Let's go get them. Thank you.
At this time, the Director of Operations, 92nd Cyberspace Operations Squadron, Major Candace J. Urrutia, who represents the men and women of the 92nd Cyberspace Operations Squadron, will render the first salute to the new commander, Lieutenant Colonel Brian J. Dela Cruz. Ladies and gentlemen, the playing of the Air Force song signifies the conclusion of our ceremony. You are cordially invited to attend a gathering at a later date once restrictions have been lifted to celebrate this momentous occasion. In keeping with Air Force tradition, please stand as we conclude today's ceremony with the Air Force song. We go.